Is everyone here and ready to go?
Everyone except Winter.
Yes, that's right. He's listening in right now because he was still doing work stuff.
Well, no, he's not. He's going to a convention in Canada.
Right. But yes, he will be listening in on the go. Let's see here. He said he wanted to do a thing. That's right. He's doing the physical training downtime action Watchland just to essentially extend his timer. Let's see here. So, we'll go through the full catch-up here. Astra made it to toddlerhood, A-OK. And then Astra made it to childhood. There was a lot of Saoirse playing around with her, and a lot of her observing the Jarl's niece, whose name I've written down so that I don't keep forgetting it. Because I'm fucking just the worst at remembering things. Ariane. While Ariane was doing her own training and being a fighter, essentially. And so that was essentially where she's picked up a lot of what she's observed. From there, Jeanette hooked a lightning bolt scrimshaw thing up to the top of the Jarl's house during a winter storm, wherein, effectively, because you are surrounded by weird pressure because the underground water system is warm and winter is very cold, you do actually get quite frequent lightning and thunderstorms. So that got charged up basically the very next day. Thyri's broom was completed not long afterwards. Essentially on the same day as the lightning strike happened, so I can only imagine that there was like this, for her half a day being tieflinged up, Thyri holding aloft a broom and laughing in success, and then lightning strikes in the background. That's my headcanon, and it's not going away.
Maniacal laughter.
Yep.
God, this poor Jarl. His house is full of crazy
fucking
people.
Weirdos. Yeah.
Well, he ain't kicked us out yet, so.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah. It must seem that, he's at least fond of one person and so is willing to put up with all the fucking weirdos. And also that whole saving his niece thing is probably pretty good.
We're also not exactly freeloading, we're doing work.
Yes, you did.
Anyway.
Those who were doing learning tool proficiencies were essentially doing useful things at the keep during that time. Anna did a lot of just maintenance smithing. Oh yeah, fucking Jason got a fucking expertise in wisdom perception checks by doing 10 straight weeks of hide and seek in the snows of Watchland. Jeanette went onwards with her experimentation on the egg and essentially used some of the drake's bones and bits and pieces because they always, felt and stayed warm to construct an incubator for these big old drake eggs. And then she made a potion that's mostly calm and just infused magic and I think blood and just really stuff you wouldn't really want to imagine goes into anything described as a quote-unquote potion. But after placing it on the egg and then observing it over the process of a week, it would seem that as opposed to dry out on it or something, it was absorbed into the egg. She has reasons to believe that it is going to produce some kind of being, although there is just no way of knowing the details of which. You don't have the ability to look into this thing. For all you know, what she did was create a monster. Which brings me to my first point. Jeanette did ask for permission from the Jarl because she was going to use his room and felt, you know what, I should let him know because this is morally, although not morally questionable to her, normal people might find it morally questionable. So, she had to go through the whole thing. At which point the Jarl went, you realize that everything you're describing is basically all of the old witches and wives' tales of how the fucking monsters happened in the first place. And she was like, yes, but science. And
this is why there's a tower in freelance.
Yeah, at which point she succeeded then a check, and he did not save, essentially, against the persuasiveness of the example science and said, okay, very well. And then Jeanette went back to him, saying, you know, do you want to come on this egg, quote unquote? You want to do some fuck? Not in those words, of course, but I'm summarizing. And he said that is quite a thing to consider and think about, because if this goes terribly wrong, then he will probably lose control of the Overland Keep and Watchland, because, you know, a Jarl shouldn't make super monsters. But at the same time, if it turns out that it is the creation of a race, and he's generally not all about that slave thing, he's like, yes, it would give them an air of additional legitimacy along the same lines that, like, Tiefling lycanthrope half-breeds get. I mean, they still get racism to the fuck out, don't get me wrong, but at the very least, they tend to have slightly better odds. And so he said he would speak to Thyri about this.
Alright.
Thyri, you've been in the home while this has been all ongoing, and you've been, you know, encouraged to spend a good half of your time tieflinged up, just to sort of get used to the Jarl's house at least being a place where they don't give much a shit about the whole slave race concept. I mean, outside of it, probably paranoia is in full effect regardless, but,
Yeah,
you know,
and also
it's impossible to hide.
when anybody from the party is around, Thyri is masked up, but around just the Jarl, his niece and her daughters, she'll drop the disguise.
Yeah. Regardless, it is impossible to keep from anyone the fact that you're a tiefling because a fucking hellhound came out of your kuta. So
I mean, look, I can teach your disguise self.
You can, but you couldn't to begin with.
Yeah.
And like, also, by the way, Overland Keep does have an armory for people of her size. She's officially a young adult, as it were, and is totally entitled to her own gear.
Cool. I gave her the fighter starter package.
Sweet. She was also gifted Arion's first sword. There's nothing particularly special about it. Like, it is not magical. It's not silvered or any of that stuff. However, it's just a lucky weapon. It just does one more damage than any other weapon. Just one more damage. It's a nice little gift. Yeah, look, little bonus 1 luck damage. It just always does.
We have so much more stuff left, Savin. We can totally get her a magic weapon at Watchland.
just fucking level 1. You know, essentially she looks like 13, 14 or whatever, which is old enough in this world to like go out and be a fucking adventurer, it doesn't matter. And you're just like, I now have a magical sword.
Well, we need to go down to Watchland to pick up the rest of our magic gear anyways, might as well put in a commission for a magic sword.
Look, when we're doing that and we get the magic sword, can we like put it in a stone or have Saoirse hold it up out of a lake or something to make her feel special?
Sure.
She would probably love to feel like a child out of legend. Indeed, also pets can make swords. I'm afraid that it is a very complicated process for someone who has never made a great beast weapon to make a sword, but you can certainly start trying.
You can start training expertise.
Yeah, effectively, anyone who has the tool proficiency for creating arms and armor not only needs some ability to work alchemy, but also an ability to expertise in the toolkit. So if you learn to do it like an alchemist kit or a potion kit or any of the alchemy adjacent skills, and also get expertise in the blacksmithing tools, then yes, you too could try and make great beast weaponry. And then I get to show you the many, many roles you have to succeed at.
Neat. But yeah, back to the question at hand, regarding the Jarl spunking on an egg.
Correct. Yes, the Jarl will come to you and essentially give you the lowdown that your crazy, your fucking insane companion is doing what can only be described as mad science, which is a concept that he was only really introduced to after meeting her.
So Jeanette's doing Jeanette things, alright. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously he'll do that too, but...
yes.
I think... Alright, I do have one question that's sort of popped into my mind over last week, and that is... While Thyri's been here, has the Jarl been getting jiggy with anybody else?
No, he is not.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Makes Thyri feel good about herself.
Yeah. So far as you're aware, and if you try and do any learning or asking, the Jarl has not had a partner since a fiance some 10 years ago that didn't end too well.
Oh, wow. Thyri feels extra special. Alright, I think what Thyri's going to do then is she's going to pop 25 gold pieces and perform an augury ritual to see just, is this going to come back and explode in our face or not?
The only thing exploding in your face usually is the Jarl.
I mean, yes, but...
Okay.
So I'll link you the
I guess
little
I'll roll some of my
spelly
secret rolls as well. Let's see here. Augur. Is this the wheel or woe?
Wheel, woe, or wheel and woe. Or nothing. It can just happen with no karmic consequence. It's not cheating, it's using magic. Don't tell DCL.
Okay. I'm gonna ask, you know what, I'll ask both of you two. Stray and Savin, can each of you roll me 3 D100?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Don't worry, it's like an events table thing.
I know. Whoa!
Oh, fucking shit fuck. Alright, so...
My rolls are
okay.
on point.
I don't
So,
know what that
yeah.
means. Is this good?
Okay, so... In regards to the... to a child of the Jarl, apparently their future is looking pretty bright. Usually when you're doing things like learning about... Like, people don't usually augur a pregnancy because a child's life is a very long... It's a very, like, tight knot of possible futures that extends for their entire life. You only get 100% woe if, you know, they aren't going to make it to the end of being a pregnancy. It's a very sad thing to learn. You usually get just weal and woe, because there's no way a child's life is going to be 100% of just good things happening. There is, sure, weal and woe are very specific concepts, but there is a weight to them, I suppose. There is still a scales to balance.
Right. I think Thyri's not trying to augur the pregnancy itself. She's auguring
trying to augur the outcome.
Or the conception, I suppose. But yeah.
Yeah. As far as you know, the weight of wheel is very, very firmly in hand.
Okay.
Usually you would expect just to hear wheel and woe back, like, no matter what. You're talking about a child happening, and that's a very complicated concept. But no, it seems that wheel has just a very heavy weight in this.
Alright. Thyri will put her little Taroka deck away or whatever, and yeah, she'll agree to this, though she suggests maybe not raising it like a horrible dragon monster. Just, you know, add that to the little brood.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is, unless you guys literally plan to stay until that thing hatches, which could be, you know, a week, and it could be fucking years. He has no idea. Presumably, you're going to be taking the whole, you know, incubator and the 2 eggs with you. He'll ask that you do a lot of the parenting for the one that, you know, he's gonna eggnate.
Yeah, of course. Thyri would be delighted to be Dragon Mom.
Yeah, especially when he's like, I mean, they all have the best will in the world, but your friend Jeanette and her daughter are insane. And also that Anna person, very much insane.
Hey, Saoirse's only a third insane. The other 2/3 are fairy.
I do sometimes feel like I'm sort of a lodestone for psychotics, but I'll make sure it all works out, assuming I can.
I have faith that you will. Astra is doing well. She is a strong child.
I mean, more like assuming whatever comes out of that egg doesn't just bite my head off.
He'll just pause. That is a very good point. I recommend gloves.
Alright. Also, Thyri will suggest you take part in this ritual. Just jack him off onto the egg. Why not?
Yeah, all right.
But that's not how that works.
Yeah, you don't know the details. I mean, he doesn't know the details either. He literally
okay.
thinks it's jack off onto the egg.
Yes, if that's what he thinks, then Thyri will suggest that, and then they'll both be disappointed later. That's fine.
I mean,
Don't worry. I'm
Kunna's a
literally
paladin still.
yeah. I'm literally right next to the eggs. It's in my little experimentation chamber. There we go. Which is actually just the Jarl's basement.
Yeah, the Jarl's like his
Experimentation.
herbalism basement.
So if we're going to take these incubators with us, I might need to buy an extra carriage. I can't carry all of us and 2 gigantic fucking eggs.
They aren't that big.
How big is that big?
Let's see here.
Because I imagine even if the eggs aren't humongous, they need an incubator chamber thing.
I already built it out of like drake bones.
Well, yeah, I know, but like, how big is it?
I imagined like
the
2
egg-
shoeboxes next to each other.
Oh,
The egg is about a foot if you were to stand the egg up, and roughly about as broad. It's a lot rounder than you're used to seeing.
giant dragon pearls.
Yeah, essentially, like there's probably somewhere out there an old wives' tale of trying to take a dragon's pearls and finding out their eggs, etc., etc. You have 2 of those, and they're let's say like roughly a foot abreast. So a chamber would be, foot and a bit tall, and I believe it's segmented. So, like 3 foot across, maybe a little bit less.
Oh, okay.
So it's not massive. It is true as well. Yes, Tam actually is basically a mount, and Saoirse can be anywhere she wants to be.
Yes, but it's also really cold outside.
This is true.
See if she can turn into a bear. It's fine.
Science knows no. Madness knows no chill.
Alright, yeah. Thyri will just stop suggesting things, be like, okay.
It would seem when you go to this, Jeanette has very thoroughly thought all of this out in her own crazy special way.
Thyri doesn't believe this is going to work out very well for anybody, but okay, she doesn't want to fight Jeanette. That ain't gonna end well.
Yeah, you are aware that even if the Jarl does not get involved, Jeanette will instead have 2 children, and Jeanette's crazy.
Yep, alright, I'd like to have the damage to this new race, so.
Aw.
So yeah, so describe the process required then, Stray, for
Okay.
eggnation.
Let me actually remember. Luckily, last session I wasn't drinking, so. All right. So, first of all, I need the seed, and I need it like in like a vial, because it also needs to be combined with dragon blood, powdered dragon bones, infused with magic. Was there anything else? I feel like there was another thing.
I don't think so, no. Just infuse quite a lot of magic. So, I mean, you would only be able to do this once a day, because it's like, bye-bye, spell slots.
My 2 spell slots.
Exactly, but they would be
My
gone,
only 2.
and they
Yep.
would be...
So, well, my only 2 second level, anyways. I'm basically thinking that I'm just using all my spell slots to infuse. So every day I'm just
So, wait.
sitting there for-
You have 2...
Oh, the other thing was I made a roll yesterday because I infused my arcane focus with the drake bone, and if I had failed, it would have exploded.
Yes, that's
So,
correct. But yes, you have proven that your focus will not explode when you work on it, as does and Saoirse as well did not like burst into flames when she used it, so it won't do. That's not a thing you have to retest again. It's like literally, are there any flaws in your focus, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was trying to remember. It was me making upgrading my focus. So yeah, that's all I need.
So, follow-up question. You have second level spell slots you've been using for this, right?
I've been using second level spell slots, and I assumed I was burning also all my first ones just to infuse with the raw potential energy.
Yep.
What would you say if, say, someone were to offer a couple 4th level spell slots?
Can I infuse other people's magic? Or are you talking about like scrolls?
I was talking about, like, draining Thyri's magic to do it, but, you know.
I know we kind of did that to repair the what was it? The Warforged many sessions ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember how we did it.
It was just Arcane tests.
Okay.
So
yeah,
if you would like Savin to attempt an Arcana test, you will then have to succeed by a decent measure. I believe the DC is 25 for your focus to not break afterwards. Sorry, to not become flawed. If you roll, I believe it was below 15, then it just doesn't work. Like, you'll get a success between 15 and 25, but over 25 is what you need for your thing to not break. And I believe Saoirse critted, which is the only reason hers was perfectly fine as well.
Yeah, that image I sent to Scout with other, because that's like Smolder's sister. So that way we can, if there was going to be 2 kids, we could actually make them visually distinct. So Arcana test first. I believe I have advantage on these.
Yes.
Yeah, hang on. Where's the other one? Yeah, and that was the other one. Arcana. How high is your Arcana saving?
+5.
Okay, I have +7, so. It's also my dice. Oh, well. Who's making the Arcana test? Oh, it has to be me, because I'm infusing, right.
I mean, you both have to do it as well, just because, I mean, you'll be able to infuse it, but we need to make sure that Savin's focus isn't destroyed, or doesn't help you at all.
21.
Alright, I'll go ahead and pop inspiration for this, because why not?
Sure thing.
Glad I did!
Good
Glad you did, yeah. I believe a crit fail probably would have turned out in some quite drastically bad way for you, but a 20 means that you will be able to assist in this and spend your spell slots as required. However, your focus is damaged. It means on any failure that you make with a spell at that point will then break it. You can just buy a new one to get around that, of course. Sadly, it is an arcane focus and cannot be repaired in any like mundane way. It would basically be as expensive as just getting a new one. So after you've finished like pumping magic into this vial of Jarl blood and cum, you can hear it like a splintering noise in your arcane focus. No, it doesn't burn the rod of a pat keeper on it. To be honest, that's a far more potent magical item than just a focus.
Also, I don't even have a focus. I have a spell component pouch.
Oh, you have a component pouch?
Yeah, I don't use a wand or anything. That's dumb.
Let's have a think here then, quickly.
And I can just say I expend everything in there. Just
yeah,
get to go
okay.
buy
Yeah,
a new one.
you'll just need a new pouch then.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yes, okay then. The Jarl observes these arcane workings. There's probably a lot of evil scientist laughter from Jeanette, which makes him a little bit uncomfortable with the whole thing. There are reassurances, though, that this is perfectly normal. That's how she always laughs when she's sciencing. And yeah, how many spell slots are you pushing into this Savin?
All 2 of them. But hey, they're 4th level. That's double a Jeanette spell slot.
Very true. Okay then.
I'm gonna make this a fucking buff Dragonborn.
This Dragonborn's gonna come out fucking jacked as shit. Okay then. I'm gonna ask both of you to roll me a 1d6.
Oh boy.
Need to make a note of the thing.
Please no. 5.
Okay. This is just so I don't forget a thing. Okay, cool. Alright, and where were those wheels and woes? Okay. God, 90, 80, 92. Well, there's weird screaming children outside. Hopefully that can't be audible, but
It is just
I was wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was. I thought that all of a sudden there was a dog outside of your door.
No, I think someone just needs to
Going,
fucking. What they need to do is punch their kid in the duodenum. Just gonna close that for now and just sit here and bake instead. Fucking children. Don't get kids. Whatever you guys do. We're not.
Oh fuck no!
Yeah, fuck anyways.
Both of my
Get
little
dogs
brothers
instead.
made that mistake.
Yeah, get dogs instead.
Yep,
Okay, cool.
that's what I did.
It's your grandbaby.
Mm-hmm.
How does your mother react whenever you go, "This is my child"?
At this point, she sort of resigned to it. She was very upset to begin with.
My mom already has grandkids, so she doesn't give a shit what I do. Thanks,
My-
younger brother, you idiot.
My mother will have to rely on my brother for that. Because it wasn't apparent at 15, it ain't gonna fucking not happen again. Especially when the HRT turns my swimmers into drunks.
I like that description.
hmm They just basically bumble around and can't figure out their way to the finishing line. Alright, so let's see here. Lots of spell stuff. The Arcana test on actually doing that shit was 21. Excellent, excellent. So the magical incubation becomes underway, and then time continues to pass. Astra is doing well in her practices and trainings.
Again, if she ever sustains a serious injury, I'll patch it up. But injuries that make you a good warrior, scarring, toughening up.
Yeah. Anything that happens that's cool and Viking-y gets to stay.
Yeah, but if she gets a broken bone, I'll set it and then heal it. That way she can continue training and get swole by the time the downtime ends.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, Saoirse has healing spells, right?
Saoirse does have healing spells, yeah. I have
she's
much
a
more powerful
druid.
healing, but Saoirse's basically always around, so
Yeah.
she'll just get healing worded if she ever gets, seriously hurt.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was going to say, quite literally, sure, you could do it, but that's essentially overkill as far as healing is concerned. Because fucking Astra's a level 1 child. Saoirse's healing word is more than enough.
Also, Saoirse spent the time speaking with animals and becoming friends with all the Jarl's hounds and horses.
Yep, all those doggos and nays.
I can heal too.
See,
You can also heal.
Mom will just rush over and heal. I actually forgot that Savin was heal lock for a second.
Yep. The other stage of light lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, then. You probably get to see at one point when Jeanette completes the Praise the Sun brazier that you can mount into armor.
I made a light shining in darkness, which is a brazier which is always lit, and if you take your rest in it, in its light, you can have advantage on your spending hit dice. That fucking bird, leave me alone.
Chirp, chirp.
It's covered up, for Christ's sake.
Go to sleep, bird. It's nighttime.
You can't fool me, I'm next to the window.
It knows the outside world.
Fuck you, bird.
Well, yeah. Are you there at all when Jeanette injects herself with Farrowin?
I'm gonna say no, and even if Thyri was, she probably doesn't want to be around. It's like, oh, okay, you're doing drugs. I'm gonna go make cookies. Bye.
Yeah, it's syringe dealt drugs are not really. They aren't exactly what you would consider Viking-esque, so it's kind of unheard of for someone to get fucking super duper high on a thing that they shoot themselves up with. Snorting, sure. Smoking, double sure. If anything, it's a relatively interesting practice. But yeah, she does so, gets super duper fucking high, goes out into the snow, and then at one point vomits rainbows onto a bush and it shrivels and dies. Because I believe the testing roll was a necrotic damage. That's fine. Everything about that is okay. And then resumed just being high in the snow for a while before coming back in. Brolaire has been training a warband for the Wolf Jarl to the Northern Keep. Because, that whole one that went a bit rogue and evil and Eldritch has kind of left him short of people, so he doesn't have anyone who can do any patrols between, like, the North and Sarman.
See, but now there's a little bit more buddies.
Yep. You helped train up a warband, you made one guy into a paladin, which is pretty cool. He'll probably end up leading it at some point down the line. Let's see here. Oh yes, so Jeanette does make feminine anonymity potions.
Yeah.
Do you offer any to Thyri? At some point.
Yeah, I would have just like burst into the room and offered a couple to her.
Yeah, you see
sure I got
Jeanette, and she has been enthickenated. Her breasts are bigger. Her hips
No.
Oh no, it was
It
hips, butt, and
yeah.
thighs. Yes, that's right. You did not increase your boobages, but yeah, everything below the waist is a whole lot of damn.
Alright, so Thyri will resist making a "did you put on weight" comment.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she'll politely decline.
Aw, science.
Magic.
Oh, science. Yeah, you've seen Anna, who's been doing her wood carvings. In
Frequently just covered in wood shavings.
Yeah.
How often is she
Pyro
covered in her own
fashion.
blood from just, like, knives slipping?
Yeah, she's good with a knife.
Yeah, but
And
it's also
would it
Anna.
even- Would also go through her DR though.
Anna's
Does she have
DR?
DR? I
I don't
thought
have
she did.
DR.
She doesn't
For
have
some
DR.
reason, for
don't
some
have
reason,
DR.
I
I just have a lot of
thought
hit
she
points.
had DR because of when you tried to cut yourself with the. Oh no, that was Jason. Never mind.
Yes. Jason trying to cut himself to draw blood is actually quite difficult because of his DR. You have to use a lot of force with just a mundane ass knife to draw blood. Carefully, at the very least, because it's just like
Because
press.
he tried like 3 times, and then by the end, he was at max damage. He was able to get 1 drop of blood.
Yeah, you have to maximize his damage with a knife, and even then, it was more like me giving him pity points on enough damage to draw blood. He had to viciously stab himself in the wrist with it.
Good times, good times.
But yeah, there are a lot of like creepy sculptures that swiftly find themselves being like placed in a fire somewhere because they're scary. Like the very first
Oh
lesson
no,
you
they're
learn.
just happy little carving.
Yeah, the very first lesson she learned is like making a perfect sphere, and she nailed that actually quite quickly. What happened afterwards was when she continued making perfect spheres, a lot of them just came out as skulls. They just do that.
I thought they were going to come out as anal beads, but, whatever.
Smiling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, happy smiling faces. They were actually just all grinning skulls.
That's nice, Anna.
Yay.
Yeah, and then oh yeah, she's also been learning performance dance in order to dance better with her jingly bells.
Yes.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah.
And then a week passes, and a thing happens. It's possible that you hear some kind of like yelp of alarm from downstairs, because I remember it not being the quietest occasion. And I basically drank from this potion and then went down like a sack of shit. Jeanette was alarmed. And
Passed
then
out.
yeah,
Well, she got up again, remember? Because
she did get back up again.
we started talking about can you feel this, and then yeah.
Yes, I remember. You got
And I
trapped
gave
in
you
the
a big
tentacle bug. The tentacles didn't tentaclate. But it was fine, everything was fine. You did succeed I believe it was like a charisma test to, get like wrest control of them from themselves to you.
I had to practice.
Yep.
So you
It's gonna
didn't
take
get
some
tentacle
practice.
graped by yourself. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, it is indeed 27-foot long tentacles of
There's a lot of
inky
them.
midnight blackness that she can vaguely control. Yeah, you hear a yelp of alarm.
I mean, obviously, Thyri's gonna run down there. Like, oh god, what's going on?
Science! Look what I made!
Ah!
Yeah, Anna is.
Wiggles!
Yeah,
She wanted to be more like Squiggles, so I helped.
you're looking at a thing like straight out of fucking nightmares.
Jeanette is giving you the double thumbs up.
I'm all wiggly now.
Squiggles is on the ground.
Does
Makes a
Squiggles
squeak
also
noise.
wiggles?
Squiggles will probably see the wiggling, and then we'll do a wiggle too.
Jeanette, why?
She asked nicely, and it was really cool.
Look what...
Yeah.
She's covered in tentacles!
Yeah.
But that's what she asked. That's what she wanted.
Why?
She's also topless because it ruined her dress.
Why not?
There's some just stammered, noises of protest before Thyri just throws her arms up. Put some socks on those. Ah. Just leaves.
Huh. Well,
I mean, isn't Jeanette the one that had like 50 pairs of socks?
oh, I did. I literally spent like 50 gold on socks one session.
Yeah, on just the left sock as well.
Only left socks.
Only left socks because they keep disappearing from my
Do
pack.
you still have left socks?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked in 2 weeks.
Quick, are your
If you have
tentacles
extras,
left-handed or
I'd like to
right-handed?
borrow 20 left socks.
Do your tentacles have hands?
No.
No, yeah. Are your tentacles left-handed or right-handed?
Mm.
Well, that was less. She was less amenable than I thought she'd be about that. Oh well.
Is that for your handedness?
I have exactly 10 left tentacles and 10 right
Oh my
tentacles.
god, you do!
Good job.
Yeah. I'll be fucking damned. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have. Yeah, when Anna tries to figure out the handedness of her tentacles, she concentrates what she thinks is the left, and the left moves, and she concentrates what she thinks is the right, and the right move, and it appears to be a 10-10 split down her back.
Oh yeah, that's what we left the session on. You want some buck?
That's right. Yes.
I forgot. Yeah.
So, Jeanette, do you offer some fuck, right?
Yeah. We've got to make that art canon somehow, Kinathis.
I don't know how to use these tentacles though.
We'll figure it out.
Give me a charisma test, I suppose, Kina, if you would like to go through with it.
I mean, Jeanette is my super bestest best friend. Okay. Charisma check. Oh wait, charisma check.
Yeah, not a save, just a check.
No.
Okay.
Aw.
Alright, so, I mean,
There's just so many, and it's hard to control them all.
There's a lot to control. You get like one tentacle playing along for fun times, the rest are just sort of holding her up, and whenever your concentration slips, as it is wont to do when one is engaging in a sexual activity, you lose control even of that one. It turns out that impressing your will upon these things is kind of a challenge when you're trying to do, 20 writhing fucking sexual penetrations and wrappings, squeezings, all that fun stuff. It's way too much for you to just essentially control at once.
It's okay. Get those bad rolls out of the session early.
I just need practice.
Yep, practice makes
I need
perfect.
to practice. There's lots of them, and they're new.
It's okay, it happens to lots of tentacle monsters.
It's true.
It is. I have an entire comic dedicated to this exact situation, actually.
I'm not surprised.
I am amazed. Actually, I'm gonna drop that in prone right now. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I think I know what comic you're talking about too.
Oh, yeah. It's not exactly a obscure one. God damn it, Bert.
Yeah. I mean, luckily you don't, like, nat 1 and do Jeanette a fucking heckin' injury. Like, because the very, very first thing that happened was that Jeanette got enwrapped by all of the tentacles at once and started suffocating.
Well, no, I
No, that's right. You took
yeah.
a breath before your face got enwrapped. But I mean, if you were left in there for long enough, you would have suffocated.
It would have been fine. It's not like my brain needs all the oxygen it can take.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, I will let you figure out your spring plans now. I need to fetch another drink because my voice is continuing to do its voice thing. Right back.
I need to fix my dress because my dress is all is all ruined.
I think Thyri will just add make a sweater with 20 back holes on it. Actually, she'll just make a what's that? A virgin killer sweater for Anna.
Ha! Ah, God, that meme. Is this the one you were thinking of, Savin?
Let me look. No, actually.
Oh, weird. This one was like a staple of 4chan's D for a long time before 4chan became even worse than it already was. I miss you, old 4chan.
Thing like that?
What?
Thing like that?
Thing like that? I'm confused.
4chan being not as bad?
Oh, yeah. It used to be pretty okay. Used to really enjoy myself in TG, which was a tabletop chat. That's where I found out most about my tabletops because everyone I knew didn't play tabletop games and had no interest in it. And then the one time that I did do was finally able to get StrayParadox 1 off the ground. No one ever showed up to session, so I had to get canceled.
No.
It was funny though. Like the first session, the druid fell into a trap, got out of the trap because she passed her saves, and then they reset the trap and she immediately walked over it again.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like you reset it and then you try to bar it up, so you don't fall in it again. But no, she's just like doopy doopy doop and fell in again. Then got real mad that I had her make the check.
I've seen a lot of images just scroll into the pornographies. Interesting. I'll peruse those maybe at a point when I'm like not live on the air, I suppose. And also not sweating into my fucking clothes. It's so hot. It sucks. Such a cunt.
Is there any part in the freelance that looks like the place where you meet Solaire for the first time, so the Alifair can, spend his time in that one ray of sunlight in the cloud break?
Well, I mean, most Haganites can sort of feel it when the sun finally breaks through the clouds. It feels real good.
If you look up, you can see I rolled a 27 on my praising.
Yeah, all right,
he is
so
in
you're
fact
ready
grossly incandescent.
Yeah, you indeed, like, you're stood underneath where the clouds will break for you in preparation, and then you've got the pose up, and then there is like a soft rumble in the sky as finally some of the endless grey or black clouds shift, and the light beam lands on you fucking perfectly.
Oh yeah, Savin, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that was the other one.
So can I use the remaining 50 days of downtime that I wasn't around for to do practice a profession and become the White Witch of Overland Keep for the winter?
You were taking care of Baby.
Baby became an adult in
Baby
3
grew up.
weeks.
Baby became an adult in 3 weeks.
Hence the 50 days of downtime rather than the 100 or something.
Also, one thing that did come up last session is actually how Astra views Jeanette. We didn't want to speculate on it without you here.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Okay. So, Astra herself is a sane and Jesus Christ, what is with people and just being noisy outside? Fuck off! I want this balcony open. It is so hot. Ugh. Again.
What's how hot you getting up to?
I don't fucking know. Okay, so yes, Astra herself is a sane individual, which feels like a fucking rarity amongst all of you lot.
Hey.
Hey, you're like cripplingly paranoid, like to an insane degree.
I have a good
What?
reason to be.
You do
You're
have a
scared
good,
of
like,
the
I mean,
dark.
there is a reason to be scared of fucking everything. Yes, I'm gonna agree with you there.
This is the properly paranoid TV trope.
Yes.
Yeah, appropriately paranoid. So let's just see here. Okay. So, I mean, first of all, how does Jeanette generally act around Astra? Is it any different from usual crazy Jeanette?
Well, because Astra's a kid, she's, not too insane, but, she also can't...
There's not an off switch.
How she acts, when she's around the Jarl? Kind of like almost half of that, because around the Jarl it's more self-preservation, so yeah, she is insane, so there is, like, being able to suppress it a little bit, but she acts like she acts around Saoirse. There we go. That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay. Alright then. So, not the sanest, but at the very least there is an edge of parentiness about her. Not only that, she is super best friends with Saoirse. Saoirse is her playmate.
Yeah, I don't like kick down her door and demand her blood so I can make potions like I do with literally everyone else.
Indeed, it's a good start. But yes, the fact that Saoirse is her friend and you are Saoirse's mum and you do a good job mumming for Saoirse, who she is aware is at least a third of the time crazy. She's got a good opinion of Jeanette.
Well, that's good.
Well, it's really hard to divine whether or not Saoirse actually has crazy, or if that's just more fairiness. Because the other 2/3 is just being a fairy. That's already, like, there's not a baseline for that with regular people.
I feel like Thyri's going to spend a lot of time trying to undo any damage Jeanette does. Just, like, constantly going around behind her like, no, don't take her as an example maybe sometimes.
Yeah, Astra will pause and be like, but she's a mum too, and then she will eventually, at some point, she sees Jeanette when the crazy is leaked out in full, and she assumes no one is around, and she'll be like, oh, okay. Your child isn't an idiot, thankfully.
Okay, yeah, she's actually as smart, if not smarter than Thyri when it comes right down to it.
Isn't she literally smarter than you?
Yes, she is. She is 1 point smarter than me.
Yep. Yeah,
because
she's
going to get raised in the Jarl's Keep, where she has access to like books and stuff.
Yep.
And also, she was breastfed on Smart Juice.
It's true. It's true.
Oh man, I really do like Eldritch Knights in 5th edition, though. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into them enough. There is one thing that Astra does quite often, and that is just essentially doing people a mischief. Saoirse is a fairy, and fairies are bad influences.
Well,
your child as well occasionally seems to just, like, in the same way that Saoirse spawns glitter, you'd swear your child does, but it's probably just from having been next to her, and it's just in her fluff.
Oh yeah, it's never coming out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so for just like on average for mischiefs, how much glitter would you say I have left? Because I like total 88 out of 100, but there's also a lot of using that glitter, but also a lot of mischief. So do you want me to like even it out at like 50?
I would say she's essentially, whenever Astra's around, she gets quote-unquote advantage on mischiefing. And she's probably at about 80, breaking even with glitter to mischief ratio.
Alright, so I'll just go to 80.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yes, very soon, Astra, it becomes hard to just get to stay still and do one thing. She currently has the two separate flaws. One of them is a very sensible flaw to have, considering her upbringing, and the other one is even more sensible, and it is hormones. Gallons of hormones!
Oh no.
Yes, because she's a young adult, and she's a young adult essentially trapped indoors during the winter, learning fightery things.
Ugh.
How are you going to handle it, White Witch Mum?
I feel like Thyri's first instinct is to do what she does for all of the, new parents back in Watchland who would come to her for like the effective equivalent of like ADHD meds. Like, maybe that's not the best idea, and eventually she'll just content herself to like force herself to just be around Astra as much as she can to like. If she can't make Astra do things, then she'll do things with Astra. She'll let herself get carried along with the random bouts of mischief.
All right, fair, very fair. That does go a long way to keeping her from doing anything particularly stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm not going to leave the decision on me, but there are other types of influences hormones can have on a person. You are aware of your child's possibly muddled gender. But what interests Astra? What floats her boat?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let me look up something here real quick. Let's see.
She's dwarf sexual. Damn it.
That was a... never mind. That was just tough.
Boop. So, she's a female, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Let's look at a survey to see what's the current going for LGBT population percentage. Let's say 4%. Okay, so let's just gonna roll a d20.
Sure.
Boop. Okay. She's probably bi.
Okay. Yeah, 18 is all of the above. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, occasionally Astra shows other kinds of interests in people, and she is a hormonal young adult. Do you have the talk with her, or just like let her make her own mistakes?
Yeah, Thyri would definitely have the talk. She's the White Witch. She's had to deal with the consequences of other people not taking the talk with their kids. Okay. So yeah, she'll definitely sit her down and set her straight.
I was gonna say wisdom is not her strong suit, so leaving her to make her own mistakes is prone to inviting a lot of them.
And thus, Astra figured out how to get butt pregnant somehow.
Yeah, no, she doesn't figure out pregnancy. But yes, and yeah, I mean, she'll have that confusing moment where she has to be like, I like this and I like this and I like this, and I don't have some of these bits that others have. Yada yada yada, and you discover indeed that your child Astra has a very mixed interest in appearances.
Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, Thyri will rationalize that away somehow with, oh, well, she's got both, so clearly she should be interested in both. Yeah, that's fine.
Pray away the gay. Pray away the gay.
Yeah, it's fine. She'll just, grow up and get a nice husband, and they'll have, somebody to, carry their child on the side. It's fine. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, Sistra is probably... Yeah, Sistra
I rolled that.
Completely forgotten.
Yeah. When I rolled, it was male, female, she-male, hermaphrodite. I rolled a 4.
Fair enough.
Indeed. It might not even stay herm. She might just change someday and not realize why, and then change back or whatever. Fairies don't make much sense. As of right now, she is a herm.
Like a goddamn clownfish.
Or that insect that literally, for its mating ritual, rips off its own cock and throws at the woman and tells them to go fuck themselves.
Like squids. Squids do that.
Squids do that as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be the whatever that insect is. That's the basis for the Nyrea.
I am forever angry that the motto for Fleshlight isn't "Go fuck yourself."
That's pretty great. Oh goodness. Yes. You notice that Astra as well takes to archery most of all, although she joins in Ariane's swordering practice and probably dishes out a few bruises and gets a few bruises in turn. Whenever the wind and shit isn't too terrible to practice, she turns out to be a rather dab shot with a longbow. Her main issue is figuring out the pull on a longbow, because she's a young adult, yes, but she is 5 foot and still growing, so it's really hard to size her to a thing that she's kind of getting to.
Maybe she ends up practicing on Mom's magic crossbow before she gets to like the full-on like war bow.
Yes, that would indeed make sense. Shooting a crossbow is a good way to figure out at least aiming.
Mm-hmm.
Like bolt trajectory and stuff like that. Yeah, makes sense.
Indeed. Yeah, there isn't much opportunity for her to practice it, sadly, for the simple fact of the matter that, there is a lot of, sideways wind, thunderstorms, snowstorms, etc. It's shitty weather.
It's like a Viking meat hall. Surely her dad is just like, all right, I'm going to stand on the other end of this room, and you shoot like the keg out of my hand.
Considering he's a werewolf, it could literally just be, shoot me.
Yeah.
It's just he wouldn't care. He's got DR.
Yeah. Actually, that is entirely likely that at some point along the way he will go. You're going to have to learn drawing blood, and we don't have enemies to throw you at. And so the Jarl will give her a real blade and some real goddamn arrows, and essentially have her try to kill him.
Hit me! I want you to hit me!
Yeah.
Hit me as hard as you can!
Like, he'll be using a training blade in return, and against an unarmored Jarl, that is very easily a hit, and it will even do some damage past his DR.
Ow, my nipple!
Yeah, they disappear for like an hour in a training hall down at the Overland Keep, and then when they return, Thyri, your husband, though, looks kind of porcupine-esque. There's a very proud tail-wagging Astra alongside, like
a very proud tail-wagging Jarl.
Yeah, effectively. He doesn't spend much time hybridized himself. He probably hybrided up just so that he had more DR while they were at it, but then morphed down.
So like the opposite of Jason.
Yes, indeed.
He's gonna get stuck that way.
He basically is. I haven't seen Jason try to human up since being hybridized. The first time he was like, "Oh yeah, I could just be hybridized all the time."
Oops, sorry. I was clicking on a thing and then it automatically rolled initiative. Weird. That was Tam's initiative, by the way.
Oh, I was going to say, that's surprisingly quick.
Yeah. No, I was trying to... trying to click on a new tab.
Fair enough. The moment you start moving on to curing, going from curing to kissing and making it better, you find yourself being hoisted and carried away.
Whee! Go play with Saoirse Astra!
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Viking-esque, she's like, this is totally normal. You have fun.
Saoirse's doing loop-de-loops.
Indeed.
Like one way they have it balanced is I can't have Saoirse turn into anything with a fly speed, but Saoirse can already fly.
Yep. It is weird balance. But at the same time, it's like Saoirse flies with wings, like not with her arms that have been turned into wings.
Yeah.
It would be a different skill set. I mean, if it happens to her, she can probably figure out flying a lot faster than most people fucking could. But yes, she wouldn't be using her wings, she'd be using her arms to flap, which is weird. and not how she does it. As well, her wings don't even fucking support her weight. She's just a fairy, so it works.
Yeah.
Just clap your hands
She's like
if
a
you
bee.
believe.
Yeah, she is. And then every time you say Saoirse, the B movie has to play. But at 20 times speed. Yep,
She'll just turn into a black bear and let Thyri ride on her back and practice charging people.
Astra.
Astra, there we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
Thyri would probably enjoy that too, but
I mean,
Yeah,
if
pretty
Thyri
sweet.
wants to.
and fuck yeah,
Astra's
Thyri wants to ride on the bear.
ride! Yeah, Astra's like, bear rides! And then Thyri looks
Yeah.
like, I want to do bear rides. Sounds awesome.
More like they're riding past, and Astra just leans over, and because I assume she has high strength, just picks up her mom and throws her on
She
the
does not
back.
have high strength.
She did not really.
She's not a noodle arm, she's a 10. But her dex
Ah.
is her big thing.
Yeah, she's not much stronger than Thyri. But yeah, she is a dex character.
Okay. I thought to make Eldritch Knight, you're like the first thing you'd want is strength and intelligence, but
I mean, why strength instead of dex though?
I don't know. That was just what I was told.
No, dex is fine, because I mean, dex fighters totally work in this game.
Just as effective as strength fighters.
And indeed, in some ways, more so, because AC is fucking dope as shit.
So not Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh no. Oh, poor baby.
Aww.
That fucking variance. Luckily, don't forget, you have a familiar, and familiars are advantage machines.
Oh yeah, squiggles.
Yeah, Squiggles will save you from failure. Squiggles is basically your Eldritch mum.
It's true.
So I suppose then the next thing is, all of these shenanigans come and pass. And first day of spring is on its horizon. And Thyri makes a virgin killer dress for Anna's tentacle party and succeeds.
And I'm
I'm
pretty sure
fucking great
Anna wanted
making
to
clothes.
try another one of my potions again, and I don't know better because I thought it worked.
It's just the top that's ruined. I can just stitch it on. We can just stitch it on. Maybe you could just attach the new sweater to the old ruined part of the dress and make the whole thing work.
Now see, now you have a sweater and pants. Or a skirt.
What?
Pantalones.
Pantalones.
I guess that's true.
More clothing. Yeah, the question is, of course, that, Anna, how do you deal with having a shit ton of tentacles? Are people going to see them? Do you try to hide it in any way? And if not, how does this reveal occur? Like, you finish attempting to tentacle fuck Jeanette, and it turns out to be way more challenging than you expected.
Yes, very difficult.
Clearly, we need more practice. And I honestly assumed that Thyri had gone and told the Jarl. Because she was the first one to see it and just like, God damn it, why?
Yeah, Theory's not telling
Those
anybody about
crazy
anything.
people I work with all the time are doing crazy stuff again.
Yeah. You forget, Thyri ain't no fucking snitch.
Yeah, no, that would be a bad habit for her to be in.
I guess so.
Huh.
Yeah, and she's used to keeping her own horrifying nightmare secret all the time. To a degree that she is terrified even when people say, no, it's fine, we knew. You're like, no! The life must be maintained!
Well, I mean, Anna's not subtle
No, you're a big girl.
in any way. I mean, she's walked around this whole time dressed and looking like a witch.
It's true. We just lost someone. That would be Kina himself.
No, Kinathis!
Oh,
Kinathis,
back again.
why?
That was weird. What happened? That
You
was
disconnected from the call.
weird.
Yeah. Which is not even worse. It's like it's not even like you broke up.
Discord decided that it had had enough of me not updating Discord and decided to just do it anyway.
And just left it sat for way too long. It's like, seriously, there's gonna be some errors if you don't. Doot.
Discord's alright about that, but there's a reason why I try not to update certain programs, because every time they just decide, oh yeah, you know that thing that ain't broken? Let's try to fix that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, Savin. The secret must be maintained.
There's just a slowly growing pile of bodies buried in a mass grave in her garden.
Is she chaotic good or neutral good?
Thyri is chaotic good.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, she's shifting probably more towards lawful good at this point. Except for the whole, secret, possibly witch outlaw person.
So neutral good?
Yeah, I think I'll shift it towards neutral.
It's what you do with your upbringing more than what your upbringing was. And I mean, there's a whole fucking shit ton of chaos left in spades after your upbringing, but you have been working towards just doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah.
So I would understand an alignment shift, sure.
Yeah. She'll be neutral good now.
Okay.
Neutral good.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and up until this point, it's like no one looked at Anna and thought, "Wow, she is dressed so much like a witch that's probably just a druid thing or something." Like, it has always you have always been.
She was too obvious to be believed
exactly.
as being a witch.
Correct. Like when people are like afraid of people who are a witch, it's the farmer's wife whose like bare patch of crops actually seems to do way too well. They're like, maybe she's a witch. In your case, it's like she looks so much like it that it looks like she's pretending. Like, they will always be like, that's just an affectation. Maybe she.
Is she like a bard or something?
Yeah, exactly. It's like maybe she
know.
does plays in longhouses and shit. Is she a skald? Because there are skalds and they can do magic. But no, now you have 27-foot inky black midnight tentacles pouring from your back. They're like, oh no, that is just a hella fucking witch now. Like it has now become impossible to hide by being unsubtle.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, she doesn't believe anything's wrong. It's just one of those weird things that happen sometimes.
Oh god.
So, I mean, actually, after the destruction of her dress, she probably sat down in the basement and just decided to fix her poor dress, her poor dress that she loves so much.
Okay.
And with Squiggle's help, brings it back from ruination.
Yep. Squiggle's mum does a majority of the work.
So okay. What I describe when I think Anna would do is that she would just squeeze back into that dress, and the tentacles are just like coming out from beneath her her skirt, and like coming out of the sleeves with her hands, and she's like, oh well, and then just puts her cloak back on.
Yeah.
I feel like the first time Thyri sees you trying to pass that off as normal, she's gonna be like, "Oh no, honey, no, come here,"
What?
And then she'll make the virgin killer dress or cut the back out of a sweater and like find a really big, wide-brimmed hat and just like put it on your back and tie it around your neck, so it looks like she just got her nice hat on her back. That's very, very, very large.
I have Big Hat Logan's hat.
Yes, you are now Big Hat Logan. Or the cleric with the weird turtle shell from Dark Souls 3.
Can you give me a charisma check? You have advantage from Squiggles helping you to tentacleize.
To what?
To tentacleify. Charisma check.
To tentacle fly.
Can I give guidance on this?
I don't think you can. Guidance is too nice for whatever it is that's going on with Anna. Guidance is like a touch of divinity, effectively. A touch of good fortune. And whatever is going on with Anna is very much antithetical to that. But no, okay then. So when you're assigned this new clothing, your tentacles will behave, and much in the way that animals that are fucking big can just seem to squish themselves down to fit into places. You can get them to bunch down quite a bit so they aren't just like leaking out of your clothing everywhere.
I need a bunch of little. I need a bunch of frilly pink bows. I need like 20 of them now. 20 frilly pink bows. And bells. Lots of bells.
Oh, hey, Anna.
Maybe just the bows.
But I like jingles.
Dude, Anna's wrists and feet basically always jingle. She is the least supple person.
Jangle, jangle, jangle.
Her instrument skill is with the jingly body bells.
Yes.
Thyri will just sigh heavily.
Yes, yeah. Your friend, it would seem, is super fucking a witch, and is writhe with eldritch fuckery. In fact, can you give me, Can you give me
I'm going to give. I'm
Arcana test?
going to give Thyri a hug for giving me a noob dress.
Eep.
Hugs.
Do you want me to make the Arcana test?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll just guidance myself.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
can I
25.
get
25. You mean it's a fucking 25% again? You pieces of shit. All right. Okay.
Can't hug too hard. Don't squish.
Yes. Thyri, you have absolutely seen something like this before.
Oh god.
It's like a memory you didn't know you had. It's something you might have had to forget because you had to forget it, not because you chose to, not because you just did, but you had to forget it. You're not sure how or why that came about. And you're not sure how it happened in the first place. Like, this first encounter with someone with like a shit fucking ton of tentacles. You're not convinced it's a good thing. For obvious reasons, they are evil-ass eldritch tentacles. But it's not a thing humans get.
Something,
Humans
something,
don't
blame mob, something.
It's not a far-off line of thought. But it's not a thing that humans get. Indeed, that she's alive now is strange. It is really absurd that Anna is alive. Like, these tentacles, you're pretty sure should have torn her asunder and revealed some kind of hellish beast. And they didn't. I mean, some tentacles came out, they didn't even, like, tear up her back or anything. She's whole. Like, when you're getting her into this clothing, you can see that, besides where the tentacles are coming out, there's, like, no blood, no markings, no open injuries. It just looks like they happen. They're not even really imagining like protruding. It's more like just there is flesh and then flesh ends and tentacle begins. Like there is a clear line. Like someone must have as if someone stuck them onto her. If you can imagine, like it's a flat plane and then something was stuck onto her. Like you're sure that they do go deep. Like you can test muscle and you can feel they go down into her, but it looks like a clear delineate line.
Would this be something Thyri thinks she could survive? Like, if those tentacles appeared on her?
Give me an intelligence test.
Right. This is where we find out that Anna's a tiefling. I'm just gonna guidance that. Boop. 14. Balls.
It's got to be
You aren't sure. Instinct says no. But you aren't sure.
Anna, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What race are you?
Huh? I'll just like cock her head aside. Well, that's a funny question. I'm just a person. I'm just a human, obviously. What else would I be?
Squint. But wait, there's
She's
more.
certain she's telling you the truth. She's absolutely certain she's telling you the truth. It is impossible for her to be oblique or deceptive. Actually, no, you're incredibly good at deception checks. Holy shit. This isn't deception. No, she's pretty sure she's a human.
Well, it's just, I don't think a human should be able to survive what happened to you. With
Nah, it's fine.
tentacles.
I mean, no.
I mean, biologically impossible.
Well, then how am I alive? I'm fine, and it's just one of those weird. It's nothing crazy. It's just one of those weird things that happen all the time.
What did your
It's like
parents do for a living?
It's like when I black out when we were fighting things all the time. I just kind of go to sleep a bunch of times.
What?
Yeah, when we get into fights, I just kind of black out for a while. I just pass out. I wake up all the time though, constantly. It's like blinking almost.
What did your parents do for a living, Anna?
My parents? Oh, we just lived up in that up in the super far north where it's super cold, and we like. My mom was a hunter, and my dad was a miner, mining stuff underground, and because there's lots of like mines up there.
Did your father ever come back with something strange from the mines?
I don't think so.
Nothing at all?
What
No
would be strange?
odd stones, something that glowed, perhaps? And as she's talking, Thyri's just like poking at the tentacles, like medically examining her.
Think. Things are hard to remember sometimes. I have to remember what that was. I think that's I'm pretty sure that is. I don't remember.
No. Anna tries to do some remembering. You can see her behind the glaze of her eyes as she tries to travel back in time to her youth. There's probably a very brief, sad expression that is washed out in an instant.
Okay, your magic, where did you learn that?
I just woke up with it one time.
Squiggles nods sagely.
That's when I was coming down here. When I was coming out, when I was traveling, I woke up one morning, I just could throw these sparkles around. And Squiggles was here.
Squiggles nods sagely again. You're pretty sure you've never seen her throw sparkles, though. You're pretty sure that you've seen her throwing inky midnight darkness.
Yeah. And you said Anna's tentacles are black, right? Like black inky darkness?
Yep.
Anna, what color are your tentacles?
Let me just bring one over to me so I can see. Control them very hard. But I mean, it's just bringing one over to her face. So
it's simple. You don't have to do a check for that. Well, you tell me what you see. It would be fine to recognize them as the inky midnight tentacles.
Ow! I just stepped on a staple.
Oh no!
Poor baby.
Owie.
That hurt.
This is what your pacing has wrought.
It is.
Yeah.
God, how many times is Anna going to step on a tentacle? They're like 2 foot longer than she is tall.
Oh, God.
Oh, she's gonna step on them a lot until she figures out how to make them work properly.
Just like Xantha steps on his dick.
Yep. He's not wearing his thong of holding.
Oh goodness.
Oh, the amount of drag forces that thing would be subjected to if he took his pants off.
Yep. Just gives himself a breast by mistake.
They just she looks at it, and then she looks at her arm. It just looks like, what do you mean? It's just like white. It's like me.
Blink.
Just like the rest of me.
There you go. That's the kind of color that they actually are. That sky and that. Assuming that link works.
Yeah.
And she just said white.
Yeah, same as her.
Thyri will just lean
I'll
back and
hold up
steeple
my arm with the tentacle. Like, see?
Yeah, exactly. Tasha senses evil.
That's not my dog.
Oh.
No, that's Hoff's dog.
Oh, of course. That'll be very, very quickly muted himself.
Right. So yeah, Thyri will just steeple her fingers for a moment and look between Anna and the tentacles. Oh, yeah, you're right. Of course. Well,
See?
you just keep this hat on back here, and you can go on. I'll just go talk to Jeanette for a minute. Jeanette!
Okay. I'm gonna make you such a nice little sculpture. I'm gonna carve something really pretty.
So Thyri will get like halfway to Jeanette's laboratory, then stop and go,
Maybe
Wait.
I'll make a little puppy.
she's also a psychopath. Titian!
You need someone who is not crazy.
I need someone who
who's
knows
a
magic
genius,
who
but
isn't a
also not
psychopath.
crazy.
Okay,
Burb.
so yeah, Titian is there and listening. Indeed, he's probably been observing this from like a corner of a room. Well, this is some crazy shit.
I'm not a psychopath. I can empathize with other people. I can. I actually genuinely like my daughter.
This is true, but
And
at
also
the same
other
time
members
as
of my
well,
party.
you recognize the insane as totally normal and cool. And
Hey.
I believe Thyri needs some sanity in her life.
I'm just being a pedant.
I know. I think someone's altered Anna's perceptions.
Yeah, Titian nods. No kidding. No kidding. I have never seen that much crazy packed into so small and muscular a package.
And she's saying she blacks out during combat.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I suppose that makes sense. She doesn't even seem to be aware that whatever she's doing is fundamentally evil.
You don't think she's possessed, do you?
I don't think she's possessed. Because whenever she does a thing, it still seems to be kind of for the good of all. I suppose is the best way to put it. Like, I've been keeping an eye on her because she is totally fucking crazy. But whenever there is a fight, like, she's had ample opportunities to screw us and kind of hasn't.
And yet she seemed incredibly easily suggested back in Grandest when she just followed along with what my sister said, like she can't tell people apart. Or she's just under some sort of charm influence.
Perhaps she has a history with your sister. I mean, she's crazy enough that she'll put two pieces together and, like, we met her for the first time and she's certain that she knew us for ages. If she thinks your sister is you and vice versa, that would explain a whole lot.
Do you
Not only
think
that,
she's working for my mother?
He'll ponder for a bit. I couldn't say. At the very least, she's associated, or knows them, or has come across them before. Which would make sense, with the whole, like, evil magic shit.
Oh dear. There's just that, like, momentary demonic side of Thyri that's just like, well, time to murder her. Sharpen the dagger, then shakes her head.
Nothing personal.
Cut out immediately. Nothing was...
Nothing personal.
Yeah,
Nothing personal.
nothing
To let
personal.
him know it
kid.
was just business, kid. Yeah, Titian will ruffle up his feathers. I mean, she seems sweet enough. Probably no reason to ice her. That and
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't
this.
think that consciously. Just shut up.
Okay. Who's posing? I mean, I was thinking it consciously.
Shifty eyes.
He'll not. He like does a little bird nod. The reality is, like, she's a pretty good clue as well. Like, this feels like the tip of the iceberg for the kind of crazy she can drop on us. I'll keep a closer eye on her if you want, but,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a connection to your sister, and she is apparently at the center of some fucking evil shit. Seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
I may or may not be a little bit more invested in it after they kind of managed to abduct a werewolf, but, you know, it's a big deal.
Well, let's keep an eye on her from now on, and... Well, I'd say don't tell anybody, but you can't talk.
Yes, thanks for bringing that one up again. I appreciate that.
Welcome. So give him a wink and then just pick him up and like tuck him under her arm. Come on, let's go get you some tasty jerky.
All right. He sounds pouty. He can't pout because he's a bird, but he sounds pouty.
Well, he'll only be pouty until he gets some jerky.
This is correct. You get that shelf kind of ass. You could stack stuff up on it. Yeah, Jack's booty.
Alrighty.
Okay, so you tried to give Anna another Femming potion, yes?
Well, while they were having their conversation, I drank one. Then I went up to her and said, "Oh, hey, I have one last one. I don't really have one last one because I promised Amxal I'd let him have two."
Yep.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna drink another one, and it was a 3, so double E cups. And Anna is going to have my last one.
Okay. Does Anna drink it?
I'll try to drink it, yeah.
Okay.
Another perception test from me.
Yes, please.
Nope.
Seems totally normal to you, but
Thumbs up.
potion begins to take effect. Anna, you feel that same, like, squirmy sensation. Indeed, your tentacles have themselves a little fucking moment. And then the effects reverse, and you return to your bodily state. You know, with the tentacles still, but, you know, just as you were beforehand. You're not 100% convinced much of you just changed then, Anna, but I mean, Jeanette seems competent enough. That stuff usually works, right? So you probably did and didn't notice.
And I literally drank one in front of her, and, like,
Wow.
my shirt became very, very tight.
The button pings off, bounces off her head, and she doesn't even blink.
Well, what happened? Did it change? Did my boobs get bigger? Is my butt bigger? What happened? Turn around.
I
Start
think you got
trying
a
to
whole
chase
lot.
myself.
You got a whole lot femmier. Good job. Thumbs up.
Yay!
Woohoo! Cool. How are you doing with the tentacle training, by the way?
Oh, I have to practice. I'm gonna practice after lunch. And
Cool.
after I carve Thyri a nice little puppy.
Ooh, can I have a puppy?
Sure.
I am
And practice my wood carving.
I am going to carve runes into it, and then every time I hold it up, it's gonna bark and blast out people's eardrums. Next one.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
That does sound pretty dope.
That's my next project.
Alright.
I'll
Also,
make you a good puppy. Even if I have to do it like 3 times. I'll get it right.
Also,
I was kind of thinking that, but now it has to be. Alright, give me 3 wood carving tests.
Oh, shit!
What the shit?
Yay! What carving?
A 1 in 400 chance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so you find like a hunk of wood and get a little carving knife. And this time you're like, you know what? A special puppy needs a special implement. So you get out like your fucking magical terror knife and you start carving the most adorable puppy you have ever created. But you're not sure you like it the first time or even the second time. So you keep carving. Instead, you then suddenly have like 3 whole puppies and they're the best you've ever seen. And then like you blink and look away and you're like, you know what? This one here is the best puppy. And there's only one there anyway. You are now holding a sculpture of a 3-headed, like, hellish dog from the depths of people's nightmares. Like
Puppy!
you've captured every essence of its slavering maw and its redundant hatred of humanity. Like every single feature of it, like you could practically feel like the wiry hairs of its fur bristling under your touch.
It's so cute. I need to make another one for Thyri this time. This one's going to be for Jeanette.
Yeah, so it is the most incredible Cerberus that has ever been crafted by human hands. Well, quote unquote human hands.
She's totally human hands.
She is totally human. And it is a horrifying, terrifying monster, but it is also undoubtedly an incredible work of art. Like, it has so much fucking personality. It looks like it is ready to kill the souls of warriors who didn't die in an honorable combat, instead they did. And in Jormelson.
Alright. I'm also going to hand Anna a thing. Here,
what's that?
Put this on your arm, and if you ever find yourself in a situation where you really, really need it, concentrate on it, and it'll make you super, super fast. But I would recommend it for, like, melee combat. Now I'm going to hand you a bracelet of haste.
Ooh, this will make me run really, really fast?
Yeah, and attack really fast.
Oh, I should do laps around the keep. I need to give it a try.
It'll break if you do that.
Oh.
They are one-shot use items.
It only has one use.
Oh.
So, yeah. Wait until you really need it, and then use it.
Okay. No laps around the keep.
Yeah.
You go fast, not because you want to, but because no one else will. But you actually also totally want to.
I really want to go fast. But
I have to go.
I can't.
Well, I mean, you could, but then that would kind of waste the spell. So I will be right back. I need to hand this other one off to Astra, and then maybe that paladin guy will show up again. Give him one of those, and then Jason. Jason, where is Jason? I actually forget. Oh, right. No. Jeanette forgot.
Ah.
Not me. Oh, right. He's down in. Why is he staying at Thyri's house when Thyri is here? I'm very confused.
Oh, he's not staying at my goddamn house.
Jeanette doesn't know that.
He wishes he was staying in that house. It's now got fucking stone-formed goblins, like, out there, spooking others away from stealing your underwear for once.
I mean, he's also, like, a blacksmith now, so he could probably spend the winter fixing up your house so goblins don't come in. Anyways.
Yes, let's see here. Also, it is, as I said, the dawn of spring. Alpha, you would definitely notice because, the freelance needs to get its business back underway. Caravans are beginning their travels now that the weather has gotten better, effectively. There is one that's going to do a route to here and then all the way down to Sarmond. There is going to be one going straight back to the Jarl's Keep, where that the half a warband you've trained is headed. They will then, reconvene with the rest of that warband and train more, so that they become a useful patrolling force. You don't really need to draw all over it, but sure.
I want to.
Okay. And then there is going to be one that is going to stop at this village here, and then it's going to do some more complicated, like, back and forthing before stopping in Grandis to stock up on things. Yeah, like that, exactly.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. Good job. Do you jump onto any of these caravans? They are the easiest ways to get around.
Yeah, probably just join the people I trained. I can trust.
Sure thing. Okay. So yeah, you join them back there. Indeed, the Jarl is happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. He's a stoic enough person, but you can tell that he's pleased to have, you know, capable soldiers back in his path. And just as the rest of that warband did for you, he will offer, you know, like, if you would like to run this warband, you're welcome to do so. And then you're like, nope. Light, praising, sun.
No responsibilities are being taken here. No sorry.
But yes. You will nod slowly, but regardless, thank you again for undergoing these works during the long winter, and wishes you luck on his journeys. Sorry, in your journeys. If you are in the area, you are welcome to stay within his hold for free.
Quite nice.
Indeed. You can avail yourself of any of his cutie slaves.
Mm.
That's quite nice.
Yep. If you ever want to get your fuck on, they won't even make you take off the helmet.
Well, that's very nice.
Make sure you keep your other helmet clean.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can make your way to Overland Keep. Like, just traveling out on this, it feels a lot fucking easier than it did before, that's for sure. But yes, no, you can indeed do your White Witching. Specifically, what about it would you like to do?
The exact same shit that I did back in Watchland, so like
Okay.
midwifing, making herbal remedies, and contraceptives and male enhancements and what have you.
Yeah, there's less call for family-related bits and pieces. Like, most of the people in Overland Keep, their families are in Maker's Rest, which, I mean, sure, it gets a bunch of them, like, a little bit hankered up in other ways because, it's a shitty winter and it's hard for them to get back to Maker's Rest, etc.
I mean, Thyri's also a very competent healer, so if anyone needs healing potions or strength-enhancing potions...
Yes, that's probably where you're probably doing better business, like essentially helping to supply up the guards.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sure, give me a profession check then, please.
Alright, I'll just guidance it, obviously, because why wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
No, 20th percentile this time. Okay. Yeah, you make that much in gold.
Cool.
It is good business, but that does, well, realistically, I'd have you do the check. How many weeks we got left? A couple of times and then pull an average, but let's have a look here. When will you have finished your actual work? 54.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have like
the last thing you had
7
planned?
weeks-ish.
Yeah. Indeed. 7 weeks and an ish. So yeah, give me 6 more of those checks, I suppose. You'll end up using up the entirety of your herbalist kicks. It's just not made for going that long, but you'll make more than enough money to get it back.
Since Saoirse's just around all the time, can she give her advantage?
I mean, Thyri already has advantage. She has Beb.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Familiars are
That's right.
advantage machines.
I forgot that I can do things that are cool.
In fact, actually, though, those guidances, you can't do those because that's consistent, like, weeks of work. Guidance is like a on-the-dot thing.
I mean... But guidance is at will.
I don't care.
Fine. Fine, just kill my fun. God.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I don't give a shit. Nobody gets
Yeah.
guidance on, like, fucking week-long checks.
I already tried last week, Savin.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Fine, as long as I'm not getting, witch-secuted.
Singled out. No. Indeed, Stray's own guidance machine wasn't allowed
Boom!
to. What's
I'm
my
the
shit
fucking
for?
best wizard.
Okay. Fuck. Alright. Fuck it out. Alright. Okay, so yeah, you make back enough money immediately to get your herbalist kit refilled when next you have the opportunity to restock your herbs, and you also make 36 gold.
Nice. Instead of that 19, I guess. So
Indeed, yeah.
let's. Cool. Ah, yes. I have 75 whole pieces of gold.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good money for someone who was just like stuck in a place over winter.
Yeah.
That's about as much I make.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say like you made cash as well, and somewhere in the same realm. But okay.
What was your profession check? Praising the sun?
He was being a healer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's less awesome, but fine.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Listen, it's hard to praise the sun when the sun does other rounds.
You can pray for its return.
Fucking trust me. During winter, everyone is praying for its return.
Yeah.
Sometime over this course, I will have given Astra one of the haste things too. Tell her not to use it until she needs it.
She immediately wants to use it like nothing else on earth, but will behave. And she's a smart girl.
I will tell her mom to tell her not to use it until she needs it.
Alright.
Because once it's used, that's it. But, you know, if she ever finds herself in dire straits or against, like, a great beast or something, if she uses it, she can attack much faster and, you know, if
Run
need
away
be,
faster.
run away much faster.
Important skills. And yes, she will take it to heart. Like, she's totally excited about the idea of meeting great beasts with you, because you've been pretty successful and then done and made pretty fucking sweet stuff with it.
Yeah.
And then Thyri realizes, oh god, she wants to come adventuring with us. Oh god. Like, I don't think that
Yeah.
just, like, struck home until then. Like,
Yeah, you see your daughter in, you know, 5 foot, growing quick as a whip, a young adult. She's come back from the Overland Keep with a fresh set of fighter's gear and is like looking up at you with the big eyes and the waggy tail, like, I cannot wait for spring.
It probably doesn't help that Saoirse talks about fighting baddies with her mom.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very excited about that.
oh god.
Very much tail wagging.
Yep.
Thyri's job just got, like, 50 times harder.
Yeah. Luckily, again, like, unlike most of them, you're aware that your daughter is not insane.
Yes.
That might be a boon in days to come, to have another sane person to talk to that isn't your bird.
Which doesn't really say anything good about Thyri's mental
No,
state.
exactly. Indeed, it's possible that Astra will worry about you instead.
It's okay, I swear Titian can actually talk. Look.
Bird noises.
No, really though, Titian, squawk once for yes and twice for no.
No reaction.
Titian, though, please. Titian, come on. Come on, buddy. You fucking troll.
starts like preening his wings. Inside your head, you hear him like laughing to himself.
You bastard.
Astra will shake her head.
Then at some point over the next week, like, Titian just finds himself locked out of the keep. Like, but let me back in.
Yeah, let's see here. How good is Titian at getting back into places he shouldn't have been? I kiss and pecks.
The hell
Oh yeah,
was
no,
that,
he's locked
Tasha?
outside. He is not sneaking back in again.
Nope. Alright, he gets resummoned the next day. He's frozen to death. No, Thyri wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that is. I'm like, all right, you take that neutral good and you fucking put it back where it belongs. Yeah. You at this time, like, Ophir is in transit, and you see Anna's first carving. I believe she did the Kerberos first, and like, you have to admit that it is some of the finest art you have ever seen produced by human hands.
If it just wasn't so fucked up.
But it is a horrifying beast. Yeah, no, and it drips with just like emotion and resentment and all of that kind of stuff. It is fucking incredible sculpture.
Oh god, Tasha, get the mic out of your mouth.
Yeah, I was like, what is that noise? Oh, that's a
No.
doggo.
That's my familiar saying hello.
Ah, of course.
Nom nom nom.
Nyam, nyam, nyam. Hey, doggo.
They say hi, Tasha.
They do. They say roo, roo, roo. Yes, and yeah, do you wanna try now for Thyri's sculpture? Because I believe in the end you were like, even if I have to try 3 times, I'll get yours right, Jeanette, and you did. So yeah, you wanna try puppy
Yes.
for Thyri?
I have to make a puppy for Thyri. Because Thyri apparently likes puppies a lot. I mean, her daughter has little doggy ears. So I have to make a little doggy for
Yeah, little does Anna know
Sorry,
Thyri likes
yeah.
doggies in the other way.
Thyri.
It's just a sculpture of like wolf form Jarl pounding Thyri into the ground.
Oh god. I mean, Thyri would keep the shit out of that, but...
Amazing. Where's the art for this? Give it to me now.
Yeah, it's like the Jarl is probably... You know, it's not often that he takes a break from stuff, but he's gotten through his paperwork and the approach to spring, so he's like probably just sat out on a sofa watching carving happen, because it is interesting watching people do art. And like he watches you fucking sculpt this beast of monstrous madness. He's like, holy shit, that is actually incredible. Until you're like, it's a puppy. It's like, oh yeah, she's insane.
Puppy.
Your muse this time seems to be slipping away from you.
You end up making Courage the cowardly dog.
These are gonna be firewood.
Aww.
No.
That one's a lot better.
I think this one will. You're not firewood.
It seems to walk back at you with its adorable puppy eyes that you've managed to capture the adorableness of perfectly.
Yes.
The Jarl like leans in and he goes, "That's strange. You shouldn't have seen that."
Huh?
And it is a sculpture of like the Jarl as a wolf pouncing outwards.
Do you like it?
Yes, it's a very good sculpture.
Thank you. The first two didn't come out too well, but this one's pretty good, I think.
I agree. When did you see me as this, though? I'm curious.
Hmm. I don't know.
Squints for a moment, then leans back, just stroking his chin. Well, his beard.
Guess she's got an active imagination.
Suppose so. This is very impressive.
Here you go, Thyri. You can have it. This is yours.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, you now have a statue of your handsome husbando as a pouncing wolf. And she's convinced that she just did a puppy with like adorable, like little moon-faced features.
Thyri will keep that forever and ever.
I'm gonna go put these other ones with the firewood.
Aww.
They're not very good.
The ones that she's putting in firewood actually kind of look like puppies instead. You're like, huh, that's weird.
That's exactly what Thyri expected.
Excellent. Yes. Eventually, Ulfa will be able to. He makes it to Overland Keep.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Know what I got to do?
Of course.
No, that's a 2.
You're doing that on your horse, but you've got like butt cramp from being on your horse all day.
Let me show you how it's done.
Saddle sores.
Yeah,
Thyri's just got like Astra in one arm and just raising one arm up is like, oh wait, shit.
Yeah, Astra would like look across at the both of them. It's just like a really stiff-looking paladin who's like slowly rotating around the side of his horse's saddle with his arms still out in the pose. And he's just like unable to keep it to do so. And then Thyri tries to do the same and doesn't stick the landing, so to speak. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Practicing our faith. It's important.
Okay. Astra will still look at you both like you're a little bit addled.
See this giant sign on my chest? This is Hagen. Hagen is the light. Hagen is good. Hagen is.
She'll nod slowly. I've heard the rhetoric. I know Hagen.
Well, then you know it's important to praise him.
Mm-hmm. Come on, give it a try.
Come on, you can do it. It's fun.
Alright, what do you use for your praising the sun tool proficiency? Is it's
Charisma, obviously.
Yep, I would just do a charisma check then, I guess, if she doesn't have praising the sun as a kit proficiency.
Charisma. Boom!
She nails it. I've seen you do it enough. Pose. Both of
That's
you,
not
you know,
quite bad for a first time.
Yep. She makes it look good. Then she'll pause. Also, hi.
Hi.
I'm Astra.
I'm Alpha. Usually I'm up in the freelance, but I decided to join your mom and her friends to investigate stuff because there's a lot of stuff happening these days. Very interesting stuff.
Oh, do you fight great beasts as well?
Well, for the last one I wasn't there because I was busy evacuating people, but sure.
Yes, Alfir's fought a few great beasts with us. Ow! Jesus Christ, Tasha.
Really fucking get those claws in there. Wait.
Bit the shit out of me.
Row, motherfucker.
Row.
Alright. Well, if Alifir ever makes his presence known,
Yeah.
Jeanette's gonna come up to him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's you again. I thought I'd see you. I thought you'd come back. Here, I made you a thing.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting welcome gifts. If I had known, I would have brought you something from the freelance.
Jeanette
Oh!
is inficinated as well.
Oh yeah, I've got bigger boobs. Like what is it? My hips have increased by a size of 2, and so have my thighs.
Let me
But-
just see if I notice. Oh yeah, I noticed.
Fuck yeah, you can't not notice.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So here,
You hear a
Not this
tang
one.
from somewhere in his armor.
mount this upon the back of your armor, and I will pull out a brazier that seems to be burning, no matter the what the weather is outside. On along the length of it, it reads "a light shining in darkness" in common.
Okay.
This is a
Thanks.
permanently burning brazier. You are a paladin of the light, yes?
Yeah. The lights. Yes. Read the stuff.
He's staring down at cleavage.
This will burn for eternity. Well, at least I think so. I've never been able to put it out. You try dunking that shit in water, nothing happens.
Huh. That's quite
Eh.
interesting.
I don't know anything else about this though. I never actually did cast Identify on it, so I actually don't know it does that thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much sounds like it's got continual flame cast on it.
cast light. No, the other thing it does for you.
All people
light
resting
cantrip?
in it. All people's resting in its
Yeah.
glow get advantage on the hit die.
Let me just quickly note this down somewhere.
So yeah, you have a light shining in darkness. So long. What's the light cast on it? Just a torch.
Just a torch.
So that's 20 bright and 20,
I don't remember what a torch does.
40 feet of light.
Yeah, sounds about right.
friendos in light have advantage on hit die recovery.
It's bright light 20 feet, dim light another 20 feet.
Yeah, 40 feet of light.
So you've basically become Thyri's new best friend.
Yeah, she will
Yeah.
not want to leave you behind, considering you're in the land of the light.
You now have your
the darkness
very
does
own
her a
son.
heckin' spook.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Also, this other thing. Wear it on your wrist, and if you concentrate on it, it will burn away, but it will also give you the advantages of the spell Haste. So, but it will only work once, so, use it wisely.
Haven't heard of a spell, but okay.
Haste. It makes you move and attack faster. You can run faster, stab people faster, eat lunch faster. I would
Freeze at
recommend
maximum
it.
speed.
You could actually
Eating
do that.
lunch faster does sound nice.
You do with what you will.
But you only get one.
There's only one.
Okay. Thanks. Now, if only I could actually mount this brazier on the back, because armor help.
It was designed for mounting, but you do have to go to a blacksmith to get the mounts for the back of, like the rivets done in the back of your armor.
Hey, guess what? Anna knows how to do that shit now. So there is no charge required for your armor to essentially be riveted with the brazier mount.
Huh. Well, that's awfully convenient. Anything else happened while I was gone?
You want to try a perception check on Anna?
Do I really need to? Perception
Yes.
checks.
I mean,
Yeah.
Astra
Everything's
grew
fine.
up.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Astra
Actually-
grew up. My daughter is gestating now. What else? Lightning struck a piece of bone, and now I can cast that lightning at other people.
Wait. Lightning struck a bone?
Yeah, this. I'll just pull out the Scrimshaw talisman. Crackles with potential energy.
Huh.
Is
I can only use it once per. It traps one lightning bolt from the sky, and then I can use it on people. Though
That's-
I have the suspicion that if after I use it, I'm gonna need to have it be struck by lightning again. But it's fun to have.
That's slightly worrying, but okay. Anything else? Slightly sweating.
My daughter can do circle 8s now. Saoirse proudly does a circle 8.
Astra will nod sagely.
Oh, that's quite good.
Oh, you know what? She'll pause and go, Anna got weirder.
It's fine.
Weirder? Hold on. This time I'm using my Divine Sense, my level 1
Right.
ability that no paladin ever gets to use because it's Divine Sense. Come on.
This is
I'll
true.
have you know that drinking 2 fem potions doesn't make you weirder. It makes you more attractive. I called out the weird.
There it is.
Yes. The presence of evil registers in your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces until the end of your next turn. No location of celestial fiends or undeads within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type, any being that you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of that place. It's dissipated as with the Hallow spell. Interesting. Okay. You alright there, Kino, with your little fidget about?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes, alright then. Interesting. Okay, so you activate your divine sense and you wash it over Anna.
Mhm.
How best to? You know what? I'm gonna quickly do a totally normal, everything is fine thing. Because Squiggles is a good guardian. Squiggles is a really good guardian. Can you try a religion check and try to beat Squiggles's?
Beat Squiggles. Ha,
Yes.
ha, ha. I remember glasses. No, I don't. Come on, look at this.
Religion, not history.
No, that's
Doesn't
Same
matter.
Religion is something you've probably got, or is it not?
Oh yeah, they have a +2 in it.
Fuck, it was a good roll. It was not
I tried.
+8 good. Okay, so you try to wash your senses over her. There is the glorious good ringing from Thyri, and as well likely from Astra as well, because she still has a child's goodness about them. She's not had a chance to do a single evil thing in her life, so she rings quite true. You don't radiate if you're too close to neutrality, which a crazy person is.
Cool.
And you can only get super evil or super good. And considering you watched Astra just nail a praising of the sun recently, she's registering on your good radar right now. However, like, there is this weird sensation when you wash it over Anna, like a wrinkling in the folds, I suppose is the best way to put it. Like, you're trying to breathe in the scent of evil, as it were, and instead it's like breathing in ozone after a lightning storm. You try to listen for the sounds of good, and it's kind of like a tinnitusy sound instead. Overall, she's not pinging on your radar, though. There's something odd about her. That's impossible to hide.
Something's off about her. I don't know what. Almost reminds me of that one tower.
You know, the tower doesn't really ring on any divine senses at all. It's super neutral. It's a building.
Yeah, but that's also slightly off.
That's true. There's nothing good or bad about it.
Do you say that out loud?
No. He just squints intently at Anna.
She is doing some. You know what? She actually did crit fail that bell bangle dance. So you watch Anna doing some dance practice, and then you hear it, oop, and she goes down in a heap as she's tripped on one of her own tentacles, and now they've all just sort of flooded out of her back. Squiggles lets out probably the closest thing to a dejected sigh you can hear from that creature, as she completely nailed, like, hiding you from a divine sense by investing some eldritch power, and then you just go, tentacles everywhere.
I'm trapped.
Well, that's new.
She's so disappointed.
But, by Hagen, what is this?
Ow. Oof.
Friend?
Oh, I tripped.
What is what?
I was doing so well. What?
What?
I know.
What are
I
you?
tripped, and my dancing is terrible.
Elifir, can we talk for a moment, please?
I need to know ASAP what the hell is going on here.
Yes, come with me, please, right now.
Fine.
And Thyri will verbiage dump everything that she was talking to Thishan about, and
I will get up. and try
I will
again.
help Anna up.
basically TLDR, I think she's some sort of eldritch abomination, but I want to keep her around so I can find out like what she's doing and where she came from, because she might have something to do with this cult we've been tracking down.
Oh no, Anna, are you
will just
okay?
blankly stare, trying to take in what's happened.
Yeah, I just tripped.
Ah,
No.
Staring.
Come to think of it, that does quite make sense in a way. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm stumped. What
Yeah,
even?
that was about my reaction.
I mean, how?
Jeanette, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Yeah.
I get a lot of mileage out of that with this pie. Like, it always starts off so promising, and then the failure, and then the giving up.
Yep.
It is also adorable and fun to look at.
Yes.
Alright, so yes, you do reconvene. Alpha tries his best to absorb all the information. And then, are you going to be heading down to Watchland?
Well, it's best to
Yes.
sort of refit my armor to make sure I can handle this brazier.
Of course. Yes, there is a little forge in the Overland Keep, and you're quite familiar with it.
Yeah.
Can you do a Smith Tools check, please?
Yes. I will do my smithing. I'm strong. Would anyone like to give me guidance?
Sure. What are you doing?
Oh,
Smithing a mount for
Oh, okay, sure.
Brulez.
I'll do that.
Brazier.
Or- Yeah.
Take
Of
a
course, I need to take off
preemptive
my
+2.
actual armor. And
And you have a familiar, so, you know, advantage machine. So,
Smack.
somehow, wait, does Alfred, like, manage to take off his, like, full breastplate without removing a helmet?
no, he takes off his helmet because he's still he doesn't know what's happening anymore. He's just like, what?
You're just so in shock that you
Yeah.
go along with it.
Mhm.
But what is underneath? I must know for science.
Like luscious blonde locks, flawless skin, emerald green eyes.
It's Fabio.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's the handsomest man.
No, it's not even handsome. It's like
Oh, he's
soft,
the
feminine
prettiest
features.
man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's which is very not Viking.
yeah.
So
the
to
most-
him, he's like, I'm hideous.
Yeah,
Yeah, Thyri will just look like dejected and sad when that happens. Just slump her shoulders like, oh.
Oh, I was
Who are you
expecting something
expecting,
worse.
monsters?
Thyri and Titian had a bet going on as to whether or not he was some sort of horrible scarred mutant under there.
Then
He's a
Titian's like, I
leper
can.
this whole time.
And then Titian's like, I can sense a fanboy from a mile away.
And Thyri just like,
I need to find that picture again, the one of fanboy Solar.
the one I posted.
Yeah. Oh, there it
Yeah,
is. Got it. That probably works. There you go.
that's a woman.
It is, but like
Yeah.
that's like quite literally as well. Like he has a manly figure, but then you see that face, and everyone's just like, "Wow, fuck."
Alright, so when the breastplate comes off, it is still a manly figure.
He's still dude, yeah.
Alright.
Just such a fanboy.
Huh.
He's prettier than you, even. So pretty.
Yeah, probably.
Too pretty.
What?
Handsome
God's
as ever.
name?
Everyone just has their moment, like, holy shit. There's a lot of great pictures that come up if you look up female Solaire. Holy shit.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
There's some hilarious shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually used
Hilarious, huh?
Yeah, I used the
Yeah.
funnier one for my character in OD&D who immediately died. Hey, I'm fairly certain that having the most deaths means I win.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
in
that's
that game,
actually
yeah,
how you
pretty
win at
much.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
some pretty great shit in that. Yeah. It's an adventure. It's a journey to go on, and you will enjoy it. Okay. There we go. Oh god, there's someone who fucking dressed up, cosplayed female Slayer, and they're fucking cute as shit.
Wait, hold on. I found something better.
Oh wow, she is cute.
Wow.
He had his very own son all along. How did he never notice?
The world's greatest Bob Ross Jufro. Jesus.
If only I could be so gloriously indudescent.
Yes.
Yeah, holy shit. That's great. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, so yeah, you will see this like incredibly beautiful feminine face, and Tishan's like, I fucking knew it. I knew he was gonna be a femi one.
Thyri will just cyclically communicate. Don't blow your load all at once, jeez.
Oh please. I've just seen getting railed by another dude first. Preens up his feathers a little bit. And you owe me Jackie.
Fine. And BRB, more pup stuff.
Of course. Yes, Anna, that was a fucking crit, wasn't it, on that smithing? So yeah, after the initial like, oh, he's not some kind of hideous monster, I'm kind of disappointed. She will have from you your armor and begin placing and mounting. And at the same time, probably gets a little bit artsy with it as well, because I mean, she's always been doing all this wood carving shit. What does Anna attempt to do? If you wish.
Alfir is every single time Anna has seen Alfir fight, he has been like this unstoppable like juggernaut that cannot be defeated. So she's going to try to make like some kind of like relief on the back of his armor that is just of like this knight who's just like I don't know, like, so she's gonna try and depict a picture of a glorious warlord, because that is what Alfir is to her. But This is Anna, so it might be something else.
It might come out as something else. It's not gonna come out as Death Knight armor.
That's what she wants to do. That's what she's trying to do. Super badass armor for badass knight. But since she's trying to go for super badass, it might turn into something.
The best kitty you've ever scribed.
Something holy instead of something evil.
Yeah. So yeah, you're trying to go for like this badass dominatrix, and what you actually get is like a fucking beautiful like angelic Valkyrie figure. Like reaching down with a tender hand to grasp at someone else who's fallen. Like it's literally like a hand reaching down across the small of her back. Like it's fucking, and it is actually beautifully done. Like she's been working on the arts this entire downtime.
My god. Alfir is a sister of battle with Artificer armor now.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Whilst wearing that armor, you have +1 to persuasion.
It's just like this. I haven't done this kind of work with metal before. They usually just made me like fix stuff and make nail and like horseshoes and things. But this is like the best thing I've ever done with metal. It's like it's like that wood carving statue of that puppy doggy again.
Yeah, you literally have another fucking incredible moment with the arts. And yeah, there you go. You've got +9 to persuasion. Very persuasive.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have the heroic hand of mercy in the form of just like this valkyrous individual like reaching down across your back. I can't stop looking at that fucking picture. Holy shit, it's so great. Like I'm trying to like describe this like moment of wonder and beauty, and I just keep seeing that fucking face.
Fucking lord. Your dog.
My dog is lame. So what I miss?
So yeah, she tried to inscribe like this fucking badass Death Knight ass shit all over his back because she saw him as this like super juggernaut. But I mean, it's a crit, and it's Anna doing it, so it basically came out as the opposite, and it's like this glorious, beautiful Valkyrie of like mercy and kindness, like reaching down across his back, whilst wearing the armor is +1 persuasion.
Nice.
Like it's a crit. Like it's another beautiful piece of work. Like you've probably by this point gotten to see Jeanette Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
Was I actually
she's got a gift.
given that?
Yeah.
Yes.
These artsy savant moments from
Yeah,
the
like
crazy witch.
the first thing that Elpha saw her do was just trip over her own face and drop bell bangles everywhere, and then she's like, I can totally fix this, and you're so caught up in the moment, you're like, yeah, sure, great, and then, yeah, no, you're given a piece of beauty.
Huh. just my reaction constantly. Huh. Yeah.
Just so baffled by what's going on. Oh.
Thunder wave.
Well, I don't have that spell, but I might be able to convince Saoirse to do it. I just need to think of a caveat so that Scout will actually allow me to do it. Like, it can only hold one charge at a time per week, otherwise the statue will shatter because it can't hold that much magical energy.
It is
needs
just
to bleed
words.
off. So I'm thinking that when I do it, I'll probably just say I can use it once a week with Saoirse and me infusing the spell. If I try to do it more, the poor little idol
Will explode, yes.
Yeah.
It'll probably do you a heckin' bad hurt and pop your eardrums.
Yeah, so. But we don't have downtime to do that because we're wrapping it up right now.
Nope,
So-
indeed.
I can't remember. Did we have anything we wanted to do at the end of spring? Oh, at the beginning of spring, I mean.
I know that you need to go down to Watchland to pick up your completed gear.
Also our companion,
And your, your companion.
Gape Wolf.
Gape Wolf.
And then I guess we're heading up to there for the Boar Lady.
You don't have to anymore because Natalie's gone off to do it instead.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just vanguarding for us.
I mean, if
She doesn't need to in the end.
if you wanted like a rich place for us to do plot points and stuff like that, Jeanette can say, you know what, I should probably go home for a little while, and we should all go to the freelance for a little while and get some stuff wrapped up.
What stuff do we have to wrap up there?
I
Well,
just
I have a
got
bunch of
here
stuff.
from the freelance.
Well, we don't have any other quests right now.
Give it some time. You'll get stuff when you end up at Watchland. It's the
Okay.
first of spring, so like everyone is now in motion. Like essentially, it's basically like the land has come awake again. People are going to be moving. Like Evil essentially had to take the day off as well. And since you fucked that seneschal up so hard that when he tried to teleport out, it didn't go to his destination. He couldn't travel from where he ended up.
In.
Yes, he was essentially snowed in at a location that looked like where he wanted to go. So it's like, yeah, even Evil's on the back clock. Don't you worry though. We're in spring.
So
Now everything starts ticking along again.
Yes, you might not
Here's
want to
the-
commit yourselves to a plan yet.
here's the most important question: is our good buddy El Ransoon in the area?
Elrond soon traveled with the winter up the Grands to the north. He made his journey relatively early. Roll me a d4. No, he's not. He's like on the he's up here in the stronghold.
Lol.
Like he's gone far.
Also, something for like a project I want to do, and I assume it requires reagents because it's a wondrous item. What do I need to create gauntlets of ogre power?
Ogre
What do you
blood.
think you need to do so?
It's ogre power, not ogre blood. I looked it up.
Yeah. See,
No. Ogre blood is an ingredient.
Do we even have ogres in here? I thought it was.
Yes,
Who
ogres
knows?
are a race of tiefling. They're a slave race.
There's one down in
I-
Watchland, actually.
There is indeed one down in Watchland.
Wasn't that a behemoth though?
No, he was a chef.
Or I'm getting. Well, that would be relatively easy
An
to get.
ogre shaft.
Well, I imagine that gauntlets of ogre power are only just called that because ogres are really strong and doesn't actually require like, ogre blood. So
ogres aren't that strong. Come on, time to flex a bit.
I imagine that I would need. Alright. I imagine that I would need like some magical sinew,
Fucking Astra, you
Got
sweet,
shown up by
sweet-
Astra. I imagine I'd already have one of the reagents, which is like the blood of something incredibly strong, and the Drake counts. So I already have that, but I need the sinew of something that uses its strength a lot more than like flying around and burning people to death.
Yes.
Um,
Give me an arcane check and I'll give you some estimations. Like, a lot of it comes down
Okay.
to intent as well as appropriateness.
Well, I didn't want to just say, "Oh yeah, I already have everything in my inventory."
No.
So Arcana
Yep.
and hang on,
Yep.
23.
Okay. In general...
Wait, that's a 24.
24.
I am going to drink some of my own breast milk.
Sweet. Okay. Alright, so, you know of the things of Earth affinities are essentially quite good about fortitude and empowerment, and as opposed to, like, other elements which are more renowned for essentially being a burst of something or a draining sensation, etc., etc., Earth is very much where your go-to for, like, fortifying statistics, to put it bluntly, to improve someone's physicality, their resistance, and their strength, that kind of shit. Earth is your go-to.
Okay, so I have that.
Getting objects that lend themselves to the concept of making someone strong and then using earth and infusion to essentially put these bits and pieces together, that's where you want to go with. So, like, objects that scream to you of strength. Like, it is not like creating armor or weapons where you just have enough pieces out of bones and such. Like, this is a magical item that you're creating, and magic is intention. Just like the
Yeah.
tongue of a beast is great of words and great of creation. Like,
No, I see what you're saying. So that's why I was
Yes.
saying I'd need like sinew or muscle from something magical and incredibly strong. So I have
correct.
2 out of the 3 I need. All right, cool.
Yep.
Can't you just use some Drake meat?
I'm not sure if that would really count.
That thing
make
was strong as fuck.
You make braces of ogre deliciousness.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Scow would let me already have everything in my inventory I need to make, a wondrous item.
Yeah, it just being something that belonged to a strong creature is not quite the same. Like, its muscles, like, if you had its lifting stuff, then sure, but that's not a thing that you guys successfully harvested.
See, just use your breast milk and make a headband of intellects.
Honestly, that is a valid ingredient.
Yeah. But I also don't have the schematics for Headband of Intellect right now. I could try
I
to
believe you
invent
learned
it, but
ogre
I'm
strength
working.
out of
Yeah.
your Book of Crazy, right?
Yes.
Just take another look. It should be somewhere in there.
I bet Aya might have a recipe for that. She's got lots of cool stuff.
That's a quest you need to go to as well, to hand in your
Yes.
bits and pieces.
So let's go to Watchland.
Yeah.
Alright.
And before we depart, I'd like to see if there's anyone who wants mail or parcels or news or whatever delivered down there. 'Cause-
Now that the weather's good, like, there's going to be a rotation of people going out of Overland themselves, essentially to, go see family and friends and shit.
Yeah.
So they don't really need their post done. Like, everyone's just looking for a fucking excuse to travel, so they'd rather do that thing themselves.
In that case, is there any more room here in the carriage to take people? Yeah, goddamn migrants took my gerb.
Okay. You have. Let's see here. Since you don't currently have Jason and Viv in your carriage, yes, you can until you reach Watchland. Like, there's a seat that's essentially taken by having this egg incubator going on.
Alright, so yeah, I'll see if there's like a single weirdo who wants to go to Watchland.
Roll me 44.
Preferably somebody who looks like an adventurer.
Just say D100.
There's here you go.
Okay, there are 2 interested individuals and 2d6.
Alright.
Okay, one of them appears to be a young girl of probably about 12. You've seen her around the Overland Keep itself, essentially doing some maid work, because again, like, the Jarl Bulgurf is not a slave keeper. Usually that's that kind of shit. But she's been working there at Overland Keep and was stuck there for the winter, so she'd like to go back down to Watchland and see her parents again. And the other one would appear to be just a soldier who heard that his wife is pregnant and would like to go down there. So both of them are understandably in a bit more of a rush than the others.
Okay, well, we'll take the little girl since we have kids in the party, and also, if anyone needs protecting, it's her.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, she would happily go along. She doesn't really have much in the way of money to pay you, sadly, for this, but
Don't worry about it, sweetie.
she will beam a smile. And soon enough, once you're on your way, the carriage is alive with the chatter between small child Astra and Saoirse. Like, the child is amazed at how quickly Astra became a bigger person. She's like, "Wow, and you have doggo ears? Are you a werewolf too?" And you know what? Astra's a smart girl. She will just lie a bit.
There you go. Good girl.
she's smart enough. She'll be like, "This would be really complicated otherwise." Yeah, I'm a bit wolfy.
All right.
Let's see here. Right before I do any kind of rolling for like what you might encounter, I believe now is a perfectly fine time for us to bring this session to a close.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you had me roll a D100 or...
Yeah, before I have you roll a d100 for suffering.
Yeah. See?
Fuck, I guess I have to prepare an encounter for the next session to begin with.
Of course.
Well done. Well fucking
Jesus.
done.
I did it to you guys.
Yourself. Fuck these guys.
No, Tasha, don't do that. Jesus.
Yes, Tasha. Good girl.
No, my collectibles.
My collectibles. This is where you hear like a nomp noise and then horrified a gasp from Savin as she's like snatched up a dildo and is just running down the hallway with it.
No, she's got a real like habit of just shoving her ass or her legs into my bookshelf where all my like oldest D&D books are. So right now she had one of her legs like hooked on the original 1974 box set, and then her ass pressed up against the Star Wars role-playing game starter set. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, really grind that ass against everything. Good job.
Yeah.
Asserting dominance over your nerdliness.
Oh no.
Yes. So, thank you guys for playing. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. So it was quite recappy, but, you know.
That's fine.
It's got you back underway after the throes of a downtime-filled winter.
Yay, downtime.
Yeah.